story. My story began really, I think, being raised in the Bay Area. As I mentioned in other interviews, I was born in San Francisco, Chinatown, born in the same hospital as Bruce Lee. And I was raised in the East Bay, that consists of Oakland, Berkeley, Richmond. So I was really blessed to be raised in a very diverse environment where I had insight into the beauty and the struggles of different communities. And within that, I developed strong relationships. And through these relationships, I got to see in depth of what goes on in family life, the struggles of everyday life of all different backgrounds. And I saw a huge problem. You know, I had close friends that lost their lives to street violence. I was also going through a tough time in my early life, and I had a community of different communities helping me and being there for me and supported me. And so through this environment, I was really interested on what are the solutions? What are things that we can do as a community to solve the everyday problems? And the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad seemed to always be there in my life. And the first time I ever heard the teachings was through a cassette tape. A friend of mine came into my apartment and, you know, he was like, oh my gosh, we have to bring a group of our friends. We need to listen to this cassette tape. And I'm like, what is this cassette tape? And he put it in the player and we all sat down and heard the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking about the injustices and the race issue in America and why. And we sat on the floor for hours listening, just completely in awe of the strength of his voice and what he was saying. And from then on, you know, I went on with my life. However, at my next job, my coworker was giving me really great advice on problems I was going in through my life. And I was like, where do you get this great advice from? And he's like, that's the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You need to go to YouTube and you look up Louis Farrakhan. And I went on YouTube, recognized the voice I heard from the cassette tape. And I was just obsessed. I was obsessed. I watched all the YouTube videos, all the lectures. And during that time, you know, in Berkeley, there was a great culture that was going on that surround social justice. I was going to Rasputin's on Shattuck Avenue, listening and being influenced by different underground hip hop independent artists that spoke about the teachings, like Brand Nubian, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. And then after I got all the records and CDs, I go across the street to my favorite bookstore, the Revolutionary Bookstore, and learned about Noam Chomsky, Aaron Dottie Roy, these amazing leaders, the Cultural Revolution of Mao, studied socialism, you know, and then so it tied back into what I was listening to with the lectures and all the YouTube videos. So I think growing up in the Bay Area and with just a diverse community and a culture that surrounds itself around social justice, listening to the minister gave language to what I was already feeling in my spirit. Something never felt right. And when I listened to the minister, he put language to it. He put direction and purpose to it. And I never let go since.